ABC Limited of UK has exported goods worth Canadian dollar 5 lakh, receivable in 6 months. The exporter wants to hedge the receipt in the forward market. Okay, the following information is available. Spot exchange rate Canadian dollar 2.5 per pound, right? You have to know how to read a code. This is a per pound code because pound is in the denominator, and more importantly, pound is the standard currency here. Why? Because 1 pound is equal to 2.5 Canadian dollar, right? That is the spot rate. Okay, this is per pound. This is basically a direct quote of pound. Interest rate in UK and interest rate in Canada is given to you as 12 and 15 respectively. This is per annum. Okay, then forward rates truly reflect the interest rate differential. Find out the gain or loss to UK exporter if the Canadian dollar spot rates first is declined by 2%, then gains by 4%, or remains unchanged over next 6 months. That is, what is the spot today? 2.5 remains the same after 6 months. Okay, let's start with the solution. One more thing I'll say before we start is the forward rate truly reflect the interest rate differential. What do you mean by that? Means the rate that we calculate by using IRP, which is interest rate parity theorem, will be equal to the forward rate after 6 months. Okay, so this means the forward rate truly reflect the interest rate differential. Let's start. What is IRP? We are not learning the derivation right now, we're just focusing on the solution. Okay, but yet in a little bit detail. IRP is, the name itself has interest rate parity. Now, forward rate after 6 months, see, they've given receivable in 6 months and they want to hedge this receipt in the forward market. So forward rate after 6 months, now we are calculating it is spot into 1 plus other currency is interest rate, the whole divided by 1 plus base currency is interest rate. Okay, now into 100 because no, because this is the rate, forward rate that we are talking about. It's not percentage. Okay, now see here, what do you mean by other currency and base currency? See, when I talk about a quote, here we have which quote? This is your spot quote. Exchange rate is Canadian dollar 2.5 per pound. So how do I write this? Canadian dollar upon pound 2.5, or you could say, I can also write this as 1 pound is equal to 2.5 Canadian dollar. Correct? Both the ways I have represented. What does this mean? Or you could say it's a pound quote. It's a direct pound quote. Okay, a direct pound quote. Correct? Why? Because pound is the standard currency here. What is the base currency? The base currency, see, pound is the base currency. Why? Because pound, once again, is the standard currency and Canadian dollar is the other currency. See, there are in a quote, there are only two currencies. If one is the base currency, the other currency on the numerator will be the other currency, inverted commas, right? So here the base currency is pound and other currency is Canadian dollar. So pound means UK and Canadian dollar is in Canada. So that is, now should I take 12% and 15% respectively for UK and Canada, or should I take 6% and 7.5%, that is for 6 month equivalent interest rate? So these are per annum, we need for only for 6 months because we are hedging for 6 months, right? So here, rather than taking these, I will take 6% and 7.5% for 6 months. Okay, now, so we've already determined UK is the base currency, 6 will go in the denominator as per this formula that we've established, this formula for IRP for getting the forward rate. So is equal to, spot was 2.5 into 1 plus 6%, and up here goes 1 plus 7.5%. This comes to 2.535. But what is this? See, in Forex, do not forget to write the currency, because the moment you forget that, or the moment you write the wrong currency in the numerator or the denominator, the entire solution is wrong. So pay very much attention to this fact. What is this? This is Canadian dollar upon pound. Okay, and this is the forward rate, the theoretical forward rate that we have figured out. Okay, so this is one part of the solution. The next part of the question says that find out the gain or loss to the UK exporter if the Canadian dollar spot, read this very carefully, the Canadian dollar spot rates decline by 2%, okay, over 6 years. 6 months, for the next 6 months. So what are they saying is, if the actual rate, Canadian spot rate after 6 months becomes something, say declines by 2%, the spot is declining by 2%, so is there any gain or loss in case you've hedged the contract? What is the final gain or loss? That is what we have to solve. See, the institute has solved this question a little differently, and we will see that solution only from the institute material. But before that, I'll just like to show you this one part, because other second and third part is also this. Similarly, we have to do that. So I'll show you first part, how we are going to do it very logically, and then we move on to the institute part and see how they have done it. Okay, the answer, there is a difference of somewhere around, I think, 100 rupees or something. That would be certain difference, but the correct way to solve is this way, and you will also say that this is a logical way to do it, right? So first they are saying Canadian spot rate declines by 2%. Canadian spot rate means what? A direct Canadian dollar quote. But unfortunately, what we have been given in the question is a spot of direct pound quote. See, that's what I was paying very much emphasis was on the quote. Which direct quote is this? We have been given a direct pound quote, but they are saying that the Canadian dollar spot is declining for the future part of it. So first we convert this pound quote into a direct Canadian dollar quote, right? So we say what we have. First of all, spot is equal to Canadian dollar upon pound 2.5. This is what we have. We have to convert this. What do we want? We want a pound upon Canadian dollar. So therefore we do 1 upon inverse, right? Very simply put, Canadian dollar upon pound 2.5. So this is 1 upon 2.5, which gives 0.4. Now this is about spot. Okay, so this thing is going to decline by 2%. So can I directly say I multiply this by 98%? This will give me the answer, 2 pound upon Canadian dollar, a forward rate. Okay, this is what we are estimating the rate will be in the future. So then what is this? This comes to 0.392. Okay, what is this? Pound upon Canadian dollar. Okay, next we'll compare this 0.392 with the forward rate, the theoretical rate that we've calculated. That is the rate that we've used to hedge the receipt of Canadian dollar 5 lakh. So which was that rate we used IRP to calculate that year? See, 2.535. But this is Canadian dollar upon pound. So we have to again convert in order to compare both of these. How do you convert? Again, the rate, this is the given. I'll write the rate again. The rate given, or we figured that out. So that would be Canadian dollar upon pound 2.535. What we want, once again, what we want is a Canadian dollar quote. So we say pound upon Canadian dollar is what we want. How do we get this? Inverse the quote available, 1 upon Canadian dollar upon pound. Okay, what is this? This is 2.535. So this gives you, how much is it? 1 divided by 2.535 is 0.394. Okay, what is this? Pound upon Canadian dollar. The other one was 0.392 pound upon Canadian dollar. Now see, we can compare because the quotes are same. 0.392 pound upon Canadian dollar. Okay, this is the forward contract rate, as per IRP, theoretical rate basically, and this is the actual forward rate, or you can say spot at the end of 6 months. Okay, so this is spot at the end of 6 months, presuming that the rate declines by 2%. So then what will be the gain? See, if you take the forward cover, the gain will be, the receipt that you get, because see the quantum we'll see in the question once again. UK, ABC of UK has exported goods worth, say, Canadian dollar 5 lakh, here receivable in 6 months, correct? So if you are hedging the contract, you will receive Canadian dollar 5 lakh. Should I multiply or divide? I'll multiply. Why? Because the quote, it's a direct Canadian dollar quote, and the quantum is also Canadian dollar. In both the cases, I have to multiply. So into pound upon Canadian dollar, 0.394. This comes up to 197, 1,97,000. Okay, what is this? Pound. Your final receivable is in pound. And the other one is, this is if you hedge. Okay, if hedged. And the other one is 0.392. So Canadian dollar 5 lakh into pound upon Canadian dollar, 0.392 comes up to pound, 0.392 into 5 lakh is 1,96,000 pound. Okay, this is the actual rate, spot, that is spot at the end of 6 months. So are you at a gain or loss? I am at a gain, because since I've hedged the contract, I'm getting more, see 197. Or else, if had I not hedged, I would have finally got at the end of 6 months only 196, that is 1,96,000 pounds. So there is a gain. Gain to the exporter, to ABC Limited. How much? Pound 1,000. Correct? Sorry. Here 1,000. Now we'll see what answer do the institute have. See, this is the fourth sum, third and fourth. Yeah, forward rate they've calculated with IRP. They've not given the formula. See this, 2.535 per pound. This is a pound direct quote. Next, they've said if the spot declines by 2%, but if you've noticed clearly, they are increasing. See, this is 1.02, that is 100 plus 2%. Right? They've increased it. But the question says if the spot declines. So why have they done this? The reason is very simple. See here. The actual spot, if we see, was how much? Canadian dollar upon pound, 2.5. This was given to you. Okay, so this is a direct pound quote. But let me just increase this. Okay, direct pound quote. But if you once again, I'll just get back to the question so you can see this clearly, because this is only the most important part in this question. A lot of people are confused here why a certain thing is done a certain way. So if Canadian dollar spot is declining, you are given a direct pound quote. So this Canadian dollar spot now see, in this quote, in this particular quote, I have two currency. In a quote, there are only two currency. One is the pound, one is the Canadian dollar. Right? So if one increases, the other one will decrease. If one is at a premium, the other one will be at a discount. That is correct. And that is what the institute has also done. But the issue here is, say for example, if one currency, if the pound is at a premium by 2%, then the Canadian dollar will not be at a discount of exact 2%. No, 1.9, 1.89, whatever. But there will be a difference in percentage, similar percentage, but not the same. Okay. And if one goes up, the other goes down. If one at premium, the other at discount, that is correct. But here what the institute has assumed is, if one is at a premium of 2%, the other is at a discount of 2%. And by taking that, they've done 100 plus 2%. That is, this is at a premium. If pound is at a discount of 2%, then Canadian dollar is at a premium of 2%. hence they've added this, right? And then you get Canadian dollar 2.55 per pound. With the help of that, they've done, see, pound receipt as per the forward contract, the forward contract rate is this much, 2.535, and that is the IRP, the rate that we've calculated, theoretical rate, okay? And this is the spot, but with spot after 6 months, okay? 2.55 we just calculated here, right here, see, 2.5 into 100 plus 2%, and hence you get a gain which is 1161. What we got, the answer was, this is pound by the way, okay, what we had was I think 1000 pounds. Let's see, yes, see, 1000 pounds, and there the answer was pound 1161. There's a difference, I told you there will be a difference. Now you decide which method you should follow. I suggest follow the institute method, but in order to understand the concept, just take an understanding of how to solve and then you follow the institute method. Similarly, they've done all the other things. See, if there is an increase, the spot is increasing by 4%, but here they've taken 96%, that is 100 minus 4%, rather than it being 104%. Why? Because the quotes are different. Okay, the spot is gaining by 4%. Which spot is gaining? That is the pound spot is gaining by 4%. So they've taken, okay, fine, the pound spot is gaining by 4%, then the Canadian dollar spot will decline by 4%. That's what they've done here. Okay, hence they've again, see, pound receipt as per the forward rate. Forward rate, if you see, is fixed because this is the theoretical rate which we are comparing with the final rate, that is spot after 6 months. Okay, and if it remains unchanged, then the spot 2.5 is the same, that is spot after 6 months, here 2.5. Gain or loss is what you calculate, correct?